And welcome back to the segment here on Home Track Heroes. Thanks to CW11 for bringing this action to you for 2 hours every Sunday night. We really appreciate you guys joining us and always appreciate all the nice words that you tell everybody that's involved in this show. We have got Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8 main event coming up, and shall we tell them who's in it?
I think so, yeah.
Why not?
Bring you out to the front row here.
Yeah.
It's going to be the 007 of Jim Powers, sponsored by Sam's Towing. On the outside, it's the 72 of Jeff Talbert, brought to you by Pilchuck Heating.
Harbor Point Towing presents the 01 of the long time. This is, and being as its driver reunion night, this is a guy that could certainly qualify for that. The 01 of Doug Delfell, I believe, in his 47th year of racing out here as a member of the Figure 8 Auto Racing Group. And outside of the 01 of Delfell, the 55 JE of Jessica Wilkinson.
And sponsored by BECU, having a huge group of employees out here. It's the 67 of Mackenzie Dietz on the high side. Brought to you by Miss Turner's Hometown Cafe in Puyallup. It's the 17 of Quentin Borison.
And rounding out the field in the number 32 car, has had an outstanding season, as he always does. Mr. Excitement, the number 32 of Steve Cox. So 30 laps coming up for our Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s. And again, coming up after on our next show that we're going to be doing, we'll be featuring the annual Figure 8 Nationals. And there's a car number conspicuous by its absence, and sadly that's the car that was driven by our friend Eric Allison, who tragically passed away on us a couple weeks ago. Every main event for the Figure 8 classes coming up for the Figure 8 Nationals will be 64 laps in honor of the memory of Eric Allison. So it's going to be a heavy night, but it's going to be a really cool night, as these guys always put on a great show, and they'll know that Eric would settle for nothing less than these guys giving 110% when they're out on the racetrack, as Eric did. So that's going to be pretty fun. We've also got news coming up also on our Summer Showdown that's going to be coming up on the 23rd and 24th of July. It's coming up this next weekend. And oh, look at this. We've got a couple of them turned around. The 32, sadly, of Steve Cox, and the 55 of Jessica Wilkinson. It looks like they're locked up. We'll get them unhooked here as best we can. I don't think John's going to be able to do it, and we'll see a couple of different shots of what happened with the 32 and the 55.
Yeah, pretty nasty right there. You see Jessica Wilkinson and the JE55 come right out of turn number 4 and get locked into the 32 of Steve Cox. And like you said, it wasn't a quick repair there, as they were connected there for quite some time. We had to have the tow trucks come out and be able to separate the two, as you see just hooked there right on the front bumper and fender of the 32. So unfortunate there, and this happened so early on in the race, and as it took the 32 and the JE55 out for a period of time here.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get a grip on what happened, because Jessica just kind of like, I mean, obviously not intentionally. Maybe we can see from Mackenzie's view here, but boy, it just looks like something went, and that car just hung a wicked left-hand turn right into the side of the 32.
And here's inside with Jessica Wilkinson, so we'll be able to get a good view here coming out of turn number 4 here. You see right next to 72. And there, just maybe getting loose there in turn number 4 and came right into the 32.
The back end just snapped right around on it, and they got together. Now we get to see it from Steve's vantage point. This is my favorite camera shot of all time right here. So he's just trying to go in deep, and kaboom, right into the side, and around goes Jessica. And Doug Delfell does a great job to avoid nose-to-nose with the 32. So looks like we're going to get him back underway here in just a second.
Yeah, great driving there by the 67 of Mackenzie Dietz, too. We saw just a couple of those replays, and Mackenzie Dietz able to react very quickly and drive around that issue that we had there. But Steve Cox, at least for now, looks like he's out there, but a little bit of smoke coming out of the 32 car.
You got to give some props out to, I believe it was Sam's Towing, that just did an artful job getting those two cars separated. They kind of had to lift one up so it would unhook the bumper from the side bar, but did a great job, and we are back underway. Jeff Talbert having a strong run early on in that number 72 car.
Yeah, so Jeff Talbert out to the high side, as you see Quentin Borison in the 17 trying to work to the inside as they come out of turn number 2, the 007 of Jim Powers, and there's the 67 of Mackenzie Dietz as they come into turn number 3. And back to Steve Cox, that smoke is not letting up whatsoever, so we'll see what happens here as we go back to your leader, which is now Quentin Borison in the 17. There it is. All right, so flat front right tire as Steve Cox in the 32 is going to exit off. And this is a good time to remind you that Angel of the Winds Casino Resort sponsors this segment. Celebrate 100% smoke-free gaming at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. Whether a birthday, gender reveal, excursions with friends, strikers bowling, or all things sports, Angel of the Winds Casino Resort offers incredible packages with exciting extras. Book your party package today by visiting angelofthewinds.com.
Thank you, Greg. And here we go, 27 laps, and I know there's 4 cars in this, and this is, this is just the way things go sometimes. And I think one of the reasons for the low car count in this division out here tonight is to see Mackenzie Dietz putting a nice move in under the 007 of Jim Powers. With the Figure 8 Nationals coming up, the next event, a lot of these guys are just saving their cars because in addition to it's their night, they always love to have good car counts, and people just kind of, sometimes that's the only races that they do are the Figure 8 Nationals, the 60 Minutes of Fear. So it's going to be an exciting night next week. Now, these cars here that you see, especially Mackenzie and especially Talbot and Powers and obviously Quentin, they're still in good points battles.
They absolutely are.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, you saw Steve Cox exiting off. Steve is leading this division, this Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s, but the 17 of Quentin Borison currently in second, and so we see him currently leading this race. And you talked about, Steve, there's 4 cars out on the track right now. It's a pretty good chance for podium, so we'll see what the 4 cars have in store. But Mackenzie Dietz with the 600 BECU employees cheering her on, sponsored by BECU. She's coming out of turn number 2, currently in second, so great job to see that. And the crowd was going wild for the 67 all night long.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. Obviously, the BECU employees that were there were really behind Mackenzie in the number 67. Meanwhile, way out front is the 17 of Quentin Borison. Now, Quentin earlier in the day had somebody else in that car, and I don't know who it was because the car was out practicing when Tom and I took a walk down by the driver's reunion tent, and there was Quentin. I said, "What's up with you?" And he says, "Man, I had to put someone else in that thing, see if somebody else can tell what's wrong with it." Well, obviously somebody did, because I think whether there were 4 cars, 14 or 40 of them, I think this would have been his night. And as it almost got really close there.
And it looks like, he just cruised in through back behind the 72 of Jeff Talbot and right in front of the 007 of Jim Powers. And right there, right in front of Jeff Talbot, Quentin Borison. So just cruising out there as we see Jeff Talbot go sideways there, and Jim Powers and the 007 able to pass on through. But we're going to stay green as Talbot is able to get that 72 car run in here once again. But just incredible to see the lead that the 17 of Quentin Borison has.
Yeah, I want to give thanks to our producers. They kind of told me it was John Zaretsky that was in it, and that makes all the sense in the world. That's Quentin's stepbrother. And, of course, Carl Zaretsky, a longtime legend name out here at Evergreen Speedway, was a part of the driver reunion night. I want to take a minute here while we've got some opportunity to remind you, get your tickets for the July 23rd and 24th for the return of the Evergreen Speedway Summer Showdown. The 7, both a Friday and Saturday, we'll have our Tire Pros Pro Late Model 125 lap event, and a lot of teams are bringing cars to run both in the Pro Late Models and the Super Late Models. We understand there's plenty of tires coming in. They finally, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say they got the tire issue resolved, because like with everything else on the planet, it's been tough to get anything. But a lot of hard work on behalf of Evergreen Speedway and Hoosier Tires got together, got us some product, and we'll be able to keep the Summer Showdown going. But a lot of our regulars are signed up to run in both those events. Again, the Tire Pros Pro Late Model 125 on Friday. We'll also have our BECU NASCAR mini stocks here. Our Evergreen Speedway Legends will be putting on a great show, and this is going to be you're going to love this. There's going to be a ton of legends coming up. They'll be running both on Friday and Saturday, and it'll be qualifying for both the Pro Late Models and the Super Late Models on the 23rd. Then coming up on the 24th, the big event on 200 laps for the Super Late Models. We'll also have our NASCAR Street Stocks here, the Northwest Outlaw Mini Stock Series. These guys really put on a show. They'll bring a lot of those too. The 3/8 track will be used for that, along with our Evergreen Speedway Legends and the Super Stocks 5/8, of course, for the Pro Late Models on Friday and the Super Late Models on Saturday. So get on to evergreenspeedway.com. Make sure and get your tickets. There's some pretty good names, and a lot of names that have won this thing in the past are going to be here. Excited to have Ty Dillon and Jesse Little coming up, and we've got a really cool thing with regard to Ty Dillon, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Tyler Tanner's going to be coming back. And he came out and ran. Was good to see him in the Galloway from a couple of weeks ago as we're coming up with 11 laps to go. Quentin Borison still leading this, followed by Mackenzie Dietz and Jim Powers in the 007. Look, the 32 of Steve Cox has come back. That's kind of how important points are points, kids. And that's why you see the 32 of Steve Cox coming back out here. So, to finish the thought, get on to evergreenspeedway.com. Get your tickets for the event of the year, without a doubt, on the West Coast, and that's the Evergreen Speedway Summer Showdown. So that's what you guys got to do, because we want to see you out here, and we'll be able to put everybody into a seat for the Summer Showdown. All right, it's under 10 laps to go. It's still queued. The Quentin Borison number 17 Dave Brandenburg owned Monroe Grocery Outlet Super Stock Figure 8. That was a lot of stuff to sorry I had to put you through all that and process, but that's how these things that's how we're able to put these things out there. It was with great outfits like Monroe Grocery Outlet have been behind this group for a long time, but Quentin's still looking good.
Yeah, it's great to see also, like you mentioned, Steve Cox coming back out in the 32, and also Jessica Wilkinson, the JE55. So after that first lap fiasco that they had, able to see both the JE55 and the 32 come back out here, as we see now 6 laps remaining for Quentin Borison in the 17, Mackenzie Dietz in the 67, and the 007 of Jim Powers is starting to see quite a bit of separation here. So we saw it a little bit earlier on where Quentin Borison was just leading the pack. We see Jeff Talbert in the 72 having to stop right there at the intersection, but now we're starting to see a little bit more action here as they come through the intersection with some near misses, but that time Mackenzie Dietz able to get in front of Quentin Borison pretty easily.
Waiting to see if Talbot would get that 72 car going. I guess we're going to see that when we come around this time. No, he's still there. Oh, now he fires it up and gets going. So good job, Jim. We're happy that you kept this thing green. And Quentin Borison's really happy because he's only got 5 laps to go.
Yeah, just sneaking in right behind the 67 of Mackenzie Dietz that time by. So let's see what happens at the intersection this time through. Mackenzie Dietz is going to slow down just a little bit, allow Quentin Borison to go through untouched as he's going into turn number 3. And just about now it's going to be 4 laps remaining here for the 17 car of Quentin Borison, and now 3 laps.
You know, I was just thinking while this race is going on, downstairs underneath the grandstands as part of the BECU driver reunion night, Steve Peters really put a display on downstairs. He had a couple of his old Extreme Contact Figure 8 cars and pictures and trophies and just all sorts of different stuff from his incredible career and time he spent out here at Evergreen Speedway. And I wanted to get that out there and thank Steve for really doing a great job promoting FEAR, promoting Contact Figure 8 racing, and it was really neat to see. We are on the final lap for Quentin Borison. He's got now he's got 3 more turns to make. Mackenzie Dietz still in that second spot. Jim Powers, and we'll be seeing him here in just a second, taking the checkered flag. Another win for Quentin Borison. There it is right there. And coming out of turn 3 into turn 4, the number 67 of Mackenzie Dietz. And the 72 of Jeff Talbert's going to make his way around. Here comes Jessica Wilkinson. And that is going to put Steve Cox up there. We'll bring him across and up to our Angel of the Winds podium here. Yeah, it was Powers in the 007. So we'll bring him up. We'll hear what they have to say. Thanks to Angel of the Winds. And I know you don't like winning them this way. I know you like to race your way into it, but some nights this stuff happens. But good to have you up here, buddy.
Hey, thanks. Thanks a lot. It's been 9 races, so I'll take it any way I can get it right now. But our car was good. Steve was going to have his hands full even if he kept his clean, so it was still going to be a good run no matter what. And Mackenzie's getting so fast, and, you know, man, there's a lot of you up here that know Eric Allison, our really good friend. I would have loved to have been racing with him tonight and stuff. We miss him a lot, and, you know, just an amazing guy, and it's a sad deal. But I'm so glad to see all you people here. And where's Joe McIntosh? I got something for him.
I don't know where that young man is. I hope he's still here. We'll find him and get him to him. But again, good job, Quentin. Thank you so much, and good to have you up here, pal.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank Monroe Motel. It's a wonderful place to stay. A great guy in Matthew that takes care of all of us. I stay over there quite a bit, and it's a beautiful place. Olympia Pizza House, my really good friend Nick, thank you so much for everything. Butch Aldrich with Dry Crawls, Mrs. Turner's Hometown Cafe, Kelly's Auto Parts, or Kelly's Auto Repair, I'm sorry, and Clearview Family Dentistry, and thank all of you for being here tonight.
And how about this crowd here? You work for a pretty sweet place.
You know what? BEC is the best in the frickin' business, so thank you all so much for being here. Woo!
Anything else?
Yes, I would like to thank my sponsors. It's been a while since I've been up here, sorry. BEC, yeah, thank you. BECU, Rep and Welding and Rail, Two Girls in a Leaf, Brandy Hood Promotions for all the in-car camera that she does for CW11. Did I say Rep and Welding and Rail? And Wellness Solutions.
Don't forget about repping.
I can't forget about my boyfriend.
And you look like you're glad that's over.
I am. I broke the rear end. I need to give a big shout out to Pilchuck Heating, Sam's Towing, and Rich's Car Corner.
All right, very good. Go get some rest, man. You earned it. Jim Powers, third place tonight.